Catholic social teaching is a central and essential element of our faith. Its roots are in the Hebrew prophets who announced God's special love for the poor and called God's people to a covenant of love and justice. It is a teaching founded in the life and words of Jesus Christ, who came to bring glad tidings to the poor, liberty to captives, recovery of sight to the blind, and who identified himself with the least of these, the hungry and the stranger. Before we continue our topic, let's watch a movie clip entitled My Last Day by Ranele Production. Let's take a break and watch a movie clip.
Tell us, is it against our law for us to pay taxes to the Roman Emperor or not?
Show me a silver coin.
Jesus, speak to us.
Whose face and name are these on it?
Caesar!
Then give to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's.
Torment him so!
Leave him! He is the Messiah!
He has done nothing wrong!
Catch the rope!
You carry it! Come on, move! Move! no ordinary mystic, Scarlet.
Here, let go. No. Don't tear it. I'll tell you what. Let's play with it.
All right, the first one that throws a 6 gets it.
Get on with it!
Forgive them, Father, for they don't know what they are doing.
Show us one of your miracles.
Save yourself if you are the king of the Jews.
He has saved others, let him save himself.
Aren't you the Messiah? Save yourself and us.
Don't you fear God? He received the same sentence we did, but he has done no wrong. Remember me, Jesus. When you come as king.
I promise you, today, you will be in paradise with me. Into your hands, I commit my spirit.
I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, even though he dies, he will live.
The nature of the key principle of the social teachings of the Catholic Church is that they are teachings that focus on the Church view of social justice. This teaching deals with how Catholics should behave in their social interactions and how the Church believes the society should be structured. In addition, the key principles of the social teachings of the Catholic Church are the dignity of the human person, the common good, subsidiarity, and the solidarity. Catholic social teaching is a central and essential element of our faith. The nature of the social teaching of the Catholic Church is to promote the common good. The common good refers to the good of all people and not just the individual. It is about creating a society in which everyone can flourish. According to the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, Catholic social teaching emerges from the truth of what God has revealed to us about Himself. We believe in the Triune God whose very nature is communal and social. God the Father sent His only Son, Jesus Christ, and shares the Holy Spirit as His gift of love.
Why were you afraid? Where is your faith?
God revealed Himself to us as one who is not alone, but rather as one who is relational, one who is Trinity. Therefore, we who are made in God's image share this communal, social nature. We are called to reach out to build relationships of love and justice. The Catholic Church teaches that all human life is sacred and that the dignity of the human person is the foundation for all the social teachings. This theme challenges the issue of abortion, assisted suicide, human cloning, and the death penalty. The Catholic Church holds the belief that every human life is precious and is a gift from God, and that every institution is measured by whether it strengthens or enhances the life and dignity of the human person. This sacrament is important to the community because it celebrates the unity of the Catholic Church. It benefits the community by bringing people together to celebrate their faith. This sacrament relates to the option for the poor and vulnerable because it celebrates the unity of the Catholic Church, which includes people from all walks of life.
Hi, this is Louiena CUPAL, and I will be talking about the implications of option for the poor and vulnerable to social situations. So I will be mentioning some situations that are very familiar with regards to what is happening to our society, which is very leaning towards poor and vulnerable. So the option of the poor and vulnerable is a very critical issue that needs to be addressed. Many people across the world do not have a house to stay in or food to nourish themselves. Because of poverty, many families are forced to occupy public and private lands without the right to do so. And because this land is not theirs, it tends to be overcrowded. Because of overcrowding, the environment usually becomes unsanitary, which heightens the chances that diseases will spread. Also, houses that are close together or connected to each other makes it easy for fire to spread and gives firefighters a hard time extinguishing the flames due to small roads between these houses. And due to hardships in life caused by poverty, many people cannot get enough money to live. And this causes them to do whatever it takes to be able to sustain their needs and their family's needs, even when it involves stealing. It has been observed that the major reason for theft is poverty. Because of poverty, these thieves need to steal to be able to live. These are just a few social scenarios that we see every day that implicates the connection to being poor and vulnerable. And no matter how sad these situations is, it is reality. And we need to be aware that we gotta do something for this one. Now let's go into the analysis of social profile. So how does this problem violate the key principles? The option for the poor and vulnerable is concerned with people who are unable to work or find a job and end up not being able to have enough money to provide basic needs for themselves and families. Sadly, there are many people in this world who are not able to provide themselves with these needs. According to Psychology Today, reports that children living in poverty tend to have lower scores on standardized tests, lower grades, and are less likely to graduate from high school and therefore are likely to perpetuate the cycle of poverty to the next generation. So it's like a domino effect and it's like a unending cycle. Poor children even have changes to their physical brain structure from all the stress of growing up in poverty, which impedes their brain development. These kinds of problems violate the key principle since they limit the people's ability to have a better way of living because they are poor and vulnerable. Everyone should have their own shot at the world. Everyone deserves a roof over their heads, food in their stomach, and clothes on their bodies. God has created this beautiful and bountiful world with more than enough resources to provide our basic needs. Yet, as sad as this is, there are people who were given their fair share.
Another beautiful morning.
Yes. Thank you for coming to see me.
Think nothing of it. It's always my pleasure to see such a good patient as yourself. Still no improvement in your condition, my Lady McCall.
Nothing changes, Dr. Zobar. 12 long years I've been sick. I feel like an old woman.
You're still young and beautiful, my Lady McCall, and rich.
I was once, but my youth, my beauty, and my money are all gone.
Gone? Your money's gone?
I spent all my money paying doctors like you to try and cure me. I have barely enough money left to live on.
Oh, that's very bad news.
But if you hear of any new treatments, you'll tell me, won't you?
Oh, yes, of course. But you must understand that medicine costs money.
But I've already paid you so much. And none of your treatments have helped.
I have so many expenses. I'm sure you understand. In my profession, one has to make a good impression. Bye-bye. Send for me if you can afford any more of my services.
Oh, Lord, I have nothing left. I can't marry. I can't bear children. I don't even have a life. And yet no one can heal me. Father in heaven, please let me die. Your child. He seems to be in such pain. Why is he laughing?
Because we're taking him to Jesus.
Jesus will heal him of the palsy.
Who is this Jesus?
Oh, a great teacher.
He works miracles.
Miracles. I must get to him. Please, let me through. I don't have to speak to him. If I can only touch him.
Wait. Who touched me?
Master, in a crowd like this, so many people, how can you ask who touched you? We all touched you.
No. Someone touched me. I felt strength leave me.
Master, forgive me. I touched your robe, and I am healed.
Daughter, be of good comfort. Your faith has made you whole. Go in peace.
Oh, thank you, Lord.
Catholic teaching proclaims that a basic moral test is how our most vulnerable members are faring. In a society marred by deepening divisions between rich and poor, our tradition recalls the story of the Last Judgment, that is on Matthew 25, and instructs us to put the needs of the poor and vulnerable first. The primary purpose of the social commitment to the poor is to enable them to become active participants in the life of society. The option for the poor, therefore, is not an adversarial slogan that pits one group or class against another. Rather, it states that the deprivation and powerlessness of the poor owns the whole community. The extent of your suffering is a measure of how far we are from being a true community of persons. When we enter into the lives and struggles of the poor and vulnerable, we experience Jesus' presence in a real and powerful way. A basic moral test. The church does not pit one social group against another, and instead it follows the example of Jesus, who identified with the poor and vulnerable. We need to remember in this principle, persons who are elderly, disabled, marginalized, vulnerable, formerly incarcerated, or otherwise discriminated against or disadvantaged. In the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 31 to 46, Jesus describes the last judgment, saying that we will all be judged based on how we treat the poorest and most vulnerable members of the society. Throughout the scriptures, Jesus spends time with the sick and outcast, revealing a special love for those who are in need. The Catholic social teaching principle, which is the option of the poor and vulnerable, encourages us to imitate Christ's love for the poor by working to create a society where the needs of the poor are always considered first. Jesus always spends time with those who are in need, including the sick or those who are considered outcasts. We are invited to follow Jesus' example and show a special care for people, especially for the poor who are most in need.
Hurry, Papa! Hurry! Hurry, Papa! See? They're going.
Hiram, Orpah, where are you taking David?
We are going to the Sea of Galilee, sir.
To see the rabbi, Jesus.
He's going to heal our David.
I've heard of him.
David, after Jesus heals you, we'll talk and we'll play together. Oh, isn't it wonderful, Papa? God sent Jesus to heal David.
I hope so, Sarah. As ruler of our synagogue, Hiram, I feel I should warn you. Not every wandering rabbi lives up to the stories told about him.
Oh, we know, Jairus. But there's something different about this Jesus.
Different?
We've heard that he asks no reward for his healings.
He heals out of kindness.
Come, David, we must go now. Peace be unto you, Jairus.
And unto you, Hiram.
Bye, David. Come by and play with me when you come back.
You're not getting sick, are you?
Oh, no, Papa. I'm just a little cold.
On such a hot day?
Sarah, I brought you some fresh water.
It's no use. She can't drink. She can hardly speak.
Papa, I think I'm dying.
You
has never been able to stand or even speak.
But we know that the power of God can do anything.
And the power of God is in you.
And your heart is filled with love. Rise up and walk.
Please, let me through. I must speak to Jesus. My daughter is dying.
Jairus, see! David is healed.
Master, please, come to my house. My only child, my daughter Sarah, she's dying.
Not Sarah.
Take me to the child. My lord, your daughter, she's dead.
Jairus. Master, I'm sorry I troubled you. My daughter is dead.
Fear not. Just believe, and your daughter will be made whole.
But...
Come, show me the way.
They're here.
Don't weep. The girl is not dead, but sleeping.
Do you think we don't know death when we see it?
They know death, but I know life. Where is your daughter?
young girl, arise.
Jesus!
Thank you, Master. Thank you.
Master, was she dead? Did you really raise her from the dead?
Everything you've seen me do, you can also do.
Causes of problem. The causes of the problems faced the poor and vulnerable are numerous, the complex, but some of the main factors include: number 1, inequality. When there is a significant gap between the rich and the poor, it can be difficult for those in poverty to access resources and opportunities. This can be exacerbated by systematic discrimination based on factors like race, gender, and religion. Number 2, limited access to education and healthcare. Without access to education and healthcare, individuals are more likely to remain trapped in poverty as they lack the skills and knowledge to improve their situation. Number 3, unemployment. When there are few job opportunities available, those who are already in poverty may find it difficult to secure employment. To break the cycle of poverty. Number 4, political instability. Instability, corruption, and weak governance can make it challenges for governments to implement the effective policies and programs to support the poor and vulnerable. The last is number 5, natural disaster and climate change. Natural disaster and climate change can have a disproportionate impact the poor and vulnerable as they may lack the resources to cope with the aftermath and rebuild their lives. Effects of the problem. The effects of the problems of poverty and vulnerability among the poor and disadvantaged can be far-reaching and severe. Some of the common effects include: number 1, poor health outcomes. Limited access to healthcare, inadequate nutrition, and exposure to environmental hazards can all contribute to poor health outcomes for the poor, vulnerable, leading to higher rates of illness and disability and premature death. Number 2, limited educational opportunities. Children from low-income families may lack access to quality education and resources, which can limit their potential and future opportunities. 3, social exclusion. Poverty and vulnerability can lead to social exclusion and stigma as individuals may be unable to afford basic needs or participate in social activities. Number 4, reduced economic opportunities. Poverty can limit economic opportunities, making it difficult for individuals and families to break the cycle of poverty. And the last is number 5, increased crime and violence. Poverty and vulnerability can increase the risk of crime and violence as individuals may resort to illegal activities to survive as a result of limited opportunities.
Hi, my name is Claire and I will be the one that's going to be reporting the part of the conclusion and the recommendations. The relationship between religion and poverty is complex and multifaceted. While some religious traditions place a strong emphasis on charitable giving and social justice, others may be more focused on individual salvation or may even perpetuate systemic inequalities that contribute to poverty. So in conclusion, religious beliefs and practices can influence attitudes and behaviors related to poverty, both positively and negatively. Religious leaders and institutions should be aware of the potential pitfalls of charitable giving, such as creating dependency or reinforcing power imbalances, and work to address these issues in their poverty alleviation efforts. Religion can be a source of comfort and support for those living in poverty, providing a sense of community and meaning for them. In line with the conclusion, these are what we can recommend that we should do. Number 1. Encourage dialogue and collaboration between religious institutes and secular organizations working to address poverty, in order to share best practices and resources. Prioritize initiatives that empower and involve people living in poverty rather than simply providing handouts. Addressing systemic factors that contribute to poverty, such as discrimination, inequality, and lack of access to education and healthcare. And lastly, promote education and awareness about poverty and its root causes within religious communities in order to foster a greater commitment to social justice and solidarity. Overall, the relationship between religion and poverty is complex, and it requires careful consideration of the potential impacts of religious beliefs and practices on poverty alleviation efforts. By promoting dialogue, collaboration, and a focus on systemic change, religious institutes can play a valuable role in addressing poverty and promoting social justice. The next slide is gonna be your opportunity to ask us questions, and we will answer it as best as we can. You have reached the end of the video. Thank you so much for listening to us and watching our video. This has been Group 4, and have a wonderful